Swearing, I think in Australia is honestly like my wife really gets like annoyed at me swearing. I mean, obviously since we now have a kid, but like honestly, swearing was just like it wasn't. You know what I mean? It was just part of growing up here, and honestly is I would say to this day. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but Australians just swear
More so
as
than
part of
Koreans, you
the
reckon?
ev yeah, no,
Like,
Koreans swear as not part of the everyday language, right? Like it's more for like kind of like 약간 뭐 나쁘게 말하면 like 애들끼리 or something like it's not part of everyday language and 특히 남자들이 많이 남자들이 이렇게 있을 때 욕 like they probably use a lot of 욕. I don't know. That's my impression. I'm not saying 여자들 don't use 욕, but I'm saying my experience in Korea was definitely 남자들 is using like so much 욕 together. Like 씨발 존나 개새끼 씨발 병신아 like a lot of that.
yeah.
But that happens just normally in here, I would say. But
Fuck
anyway.
off, man.
Huh?
In everyday living, you're at work and you're talking with colleagues and you're like fucking swearing your
No,
mouth
no,
off.
okay, but like definitely like in the workplace, people will
Yeah.
say shit and fuck, I would say, and that's been like kind of not obviously in a town like you're not obviously in like a town or a executive meeting saying that, but people are definitely using fucking shit and crap as part of
Ah,
like
okay.
the
Yeah, maybe
everyday
maybe it is more
vernacular.
common in the workplace
Yeah,
in
but
Australia.
imagine if like in Korea you can't do it. Like okay, if fuck is the equivalent of shibar in Korea, you can't be like shibar 빨리 해. You can't do that.
Well, opposed to in Australia, you would say, "Hey, hurry the fuck up."
Yeah, well,
In
okay,
the
so
office.
okay, like we're obviously both office workers. Like
Yeah.
we'll you know we're privileged like enough that we are office workers. Like you know, shout out to all the people like
Nogada's out there.
hard yakka. Like I wasn't built for that, unfortunately. My dad was, but not me. But yeah, like as in, bro, like you know, I don't have that many mates in like you know in construction or on site or like blue collar hard yakka, but I think you got more than me. But you know, they say it's like you know, it's like mate, hey, fucking mate, get the fuck like it's yeah, it's like
Hey,
you know what I mean? It's
what
culture.
about the Korean Nogadas, man? I'm sure they'd be fucking.
Yeah, true. Hey, 그래
I
너희들
remember
야
like
씨발
song.
너 마누라 이 반찬 이렇게 맛없는 거 해? 뭐 이런 거나?
I remember Song was doing some Nogada like like when we were 20 or something with working with Koreans and he would like 흉내 this 형 that he works with and every second word was Shiba. It was like
I
blah 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 blah.
okay. You know what? You know what? Like we're probably like, yeah, we probably don't know shit about it. Eh? We're just like
I
classic.
just
Like
don't think there's like a huge difference, especially for guys, whether like Aussies swear significantly more than Koreans. I'm just if so, maybe slightly like slightly more. Like I think it's harder for me to imagine a 부장님 saying, "야, 이 씨발 이거 안 갖고 와," or like 이거 빨리 안 해,
that's the
over
best.
over. You know what? Like even that's arguable. Like when we hear of like from Wu, this fucking 부장님 throwing 재떨이 and shit like that, like everything's on the table, man.
Yeah, okay. And like to be honest, like to be fair, we're probably like been like privileged to not like experience that shit a lot. Like as in we probably haven't been in that sort of environment enough to comment. So anyway, yeah. But
You're
well, that's
just
the
kind,
thing.
yeah.
Well, this is the funny thing in Korea now. Apparently, like this is what my wife tells me. It's like, so like you know, in the richer suburbs like 압구정 or you know 대치동, whatever, you got these kids, and then they're like 초등학생,
Mm,
like which is primary school, year one and two,
mm.
and then they come to school wearing like Moncler. So for those who don't know Moncler, it's like super high
Yeah,
luxury brand
yeah,
like puffer jackets
yeah,
because in
yeah,
Korea
yeah,
it's super
yeah, yeah.
cold. And then like yeah, like if you don't wear Moncler, like
Yeah, if
the
you're
kids are
wearing
like
North
야,
Face, you're a shit kick.
씨발, 너 몽클레 없어? 너 유니클로야? 야, 개거지네? 거지다. 너랑 못 놀아. 엄마가 너랑 놀지 말래.
Fuck off, mate.
개거지야.
Fuck off.
Yep,
Um,
yep.
Korea versus Australia in soccer. Who do you go for?
Look, predominantly Korea, only because they're usually the underdog.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if it's a sport where Australia is? Well, hang on. In soccer, is Korea the underdog?
Maybe not now because of Sunny and shit, but like I mean, predominantly it used to be. And purely because like Korea, like you know, like had like so little success. Not that Australia had much success, but like generally as Aussies don't give a shit about soccer like when I was growing up. Now they do. So I would go for like Korea there. But like as in I passionately go for Australia in rugby league, for example.
Well, that
You
was
know
going
what
to
I
be
mean?
my next question. So
Yeah.
rugby league, Australia versus Korea, who do you go for?
Yeah, I feel like I'll go for Australia, to be honest.
Well,
Yeah.
Korea's the fucking heavy
Uh,
underdog in this.
I know. Yes, I'll probably contradict myself. So edit. Nah, like I just generally feel maybe more what the passion of the sport, maybe.
Like very similar, by the way, in terms of sport. Um, for soccer, Korea, because you know the whole narrative of 2002 and all
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
shit's like deep
yeah.
rooted.
Yes,
But
yes.
generally speaking, I would be going for the underdog. Um, and it may depend on the sport. And again, similar to soccer, when it comes to baseball, like I've followed the Korean team for a while. Um, but yeah, yeah. Otherwise, like I don't really have like a strong affiliation in terms of a national sporting team. So.
Like I don't have any affiliations of like, oh, I feel, like Korea over Australia or Australia over Korea. Like I'm much less, like worried about ethnicity and nationality than I would say a lot of other, like Kyopos or like things like that of any ethnicity. Like, yeah, I'm a proud like Korean background. Like I'm a proud Korean. Like I don't go like Korean Australian or Australian Korean, whatever. I'm Korean, but I'm also Australian. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like that, yeah, like that's my sense. Like, go, what are you? Like, you know,
Are you half
like
half?
yeah, yeah, well, this is the thing. It's a whole episode in itself. But with Kyotos and stuff, like, are we ever really Australian? Are we ever really Korean? We're not. There's definitely some identity issues there, where we're never going to be accepted from each country fully.
Mm,
I mean, that's how I feel. We're never going to be accepted from Korea as full Korean.
mm.
We're never going to be accepted from Australia as full Australian. We
And
got our
I'd
own.
much rather it be this way than just be only one.
Yeah, correct. Like, why do I like and also like don't define yourself as like if you're a Kyopo, like, oh, I'm Korean or I'm Australian. It's just like, look, we got our own thing, man. You know what I mean? And that's why when we were younger, I don't know if we like me and Wu definitely we were like, we got to create like this Kyopo world, like Kyopo is it's not a country, but I mean, like, imagine there's so many Kyopos out there. Like, we're just part of one tiny Korean Kyopo cog machine. Imagine the Vietnamese, imagine the Chinese, imagine like like everything, right? The Mongolians, the Japanese, like a very big expat. That's just the Asians, Then you got, everywhere, all across the world, right? I mean, you got Koreans who grew up in Germany. I've met them before when I was in Korea. Then you got the Korean Germans, bro. You know what I mean? They're like, "Hushdak, hushdak, 씨발, like, Jomin sausage, hushdak." You don't know. Like, you got like Koreans that grew up
Good
in
stuff.
Busan. There's a Korean Arabs community. They're gonna be like, hey, hush. Well, hectic lad, go to kimchi, hectic lad. Kimchi with the garlic sauce and shit. You just
Yep.
don't know. Look,
Yep.
there might be fucking Korean Arabs there have their own fucking kebabs that no one knows about. It's just fucking in
Uh,
fucking, somewhere out there, so like that, we got our own thing going, man, and Korean Australians have their own thing going, and within Korean Australians, it's subcategories all the time. They're sub within the sub these
yeah, hey,
days. Yeah,
maybe like the shit that we talk about, at least for on this topic, it's gonna resonate with all the expats out there, all the immigrant community outside of
yeah,
just, Korean Australians or, Asian, whatever, like the entire Kyopo or immigrant community. So that's cool. Um,
yeah.
Yeah, no, and then like so after the sport, my next question was gonna be if Korea and Australia are in a war against each
No.
other, who do you fight for?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Like, look, honestly, I think like, mate, the weird part is I can't imagine. Like, I'm just gonna be honest, right? First of all, I'm not a soldier and never killed anyone, so I can't even imagine that. Second, like, I just can't imagine like killing Koreans or killing Australians or killing anyone. To be fair, but like, you know what I mean? I can't. You know what I mean? I'm just like, bro. Look, I'm a
Yeah,
clad
yeah,
individual.
you're a lover, not a
I
hater,
think
but answer the fucking
yeah.
question.
Mate, look, look, if I had to, I reckon like, bro, I gotta kill some Koreans, bro. No, no,
Fucking
no,
traitor, fucking traitor.
no.
이 매국노 새끼. 이
Yeah,
매국노
look,
새끼.
I can't kill Koreans. I can't kill Australia. I know it's a pussy answer. It's fucking
Right.
pussy, but
I'd
yeah,
fight
like,
for fucking Australia tooth and nail, man.
yeah, but look,
This is my country. This is where I
yeah, look,
live.
I have to say, look, 1% of me is definitely leaning towards like, like, I mean, Australia's given me everything, right? Everything.
Yeah.
So, well, predominantly everything. So, I think it's the country that I align with the most. But as I said, I'm deep rooted in both countries. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Like
mm,
both countries play an important part to me. Obviously, one being my blood and one being my culture.
mm,
You know what I mean?
mm.
So yeah.
But then, yeah, as I said, if it came down to war, for me, it's like it's not even a difficult decision. Like Australia is my country of citizenship, and this is where I live, and this is where I will be living over Korea. So yeah, I'll go out there and nuke some
Oh
Koreans
fuck!
easy.
What a neo-Nazi man. Nah, nah. But nah. Well, yeah. Fair enough. I mean, you also come from a Chinipa family, so
Yeah,
yeah. I mean,
yeah.
that
So
makes
it's
sense.
very natural for me to backstab Koreans. Hey, we do need to have an episode on politics one day. But anyway, so
100%. Like, yeah.
um
Mm.
um when do you feel proud about being Australian?
Australian. Honestly, like for me, I feel the most proud when like honestly Australians just like I feel most proud to be Australian when honestly like we do shit like we had that terrible bushfire thing and like just like whole country just rallies around like like I know it sucks how you rally when a disaster happens, but I think this country, whenever something like that happened, like the whole country's got behind it, like whether emotionally, financially, or that sort of thing. I think most countries do that anyway, but I feel like Australia definitely, well, just from what I see, is very united in that sense. I also feel like um, it's this is just like a byproduct of probably a lot of things, but I feel Australia, like now that I do have a family, I am married with a kid and another kid on the way, and like now that I am that, I mean, God, if there's another country that's better to raise kids and have a family, I please let me know where it is so I can move there because like um this place is fucking awesome, man, and like I am fucking privileged and honored to be living in this fucking like well to have my parents immigrate here and to just be raised in this country because man it's a fucking awesome country to have a family and raise kids, man. It's fucking awesome. Like I mean it's not just because of like one reason or two reasons, it's just like it is just awesome. And when for anyone that does get married and have kids, probably agree generally. And when you do, you probably will agree. But that man, that makes me feel proud to live in a country where like raising a family is possibly one of the best places to do so. Yeah, that I'm very proud of that. Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Obviously, I'm not in that position of raising a
yeah.
family, but I can definitely sort of yeah understand that to a certain extent. Um, hey, we may get fucking sponsorship from the Department of Immigration or something, man.
Yeah.
We're being pretty damn good ambassadors for the country. Um,
Australia, mate. No,
the
well, that's how good of a fucking country this is, though.
It's
Like,
an
I mean,
awesome
legit,
country, no
man.
doubt, no doubt. And
Like, it's a fucking good
there's
country.
like two things. Whenever I travel and come back to Australia, and more specifically Sydney, I think I'm probably a bigger fan of Sydney than you are. But
Yeah,
I
yeah,
do
yeah.
think Sydney is such a beautiful place. Just the weather, just the scenery,
The
the
beaches, yeah,
food,
fuck,
yeah, all
so
that
good.
shit
Yeah.
is awesome. So yeah, whenever I travel and wherever it is that I go, it's such a I might go to the most beautiful place, but whenever I come back, I'm like, fuck, what an awesome home to come back to. And sort of similar on that similar theme, you know the Qantas ad?
The when we were kids, right? Like I still call
Yeah,
Australia home, bro.
yeah,
I fucking
dude.
remember
Whenever
crying
I
to that
watch that
shit,
shit
man.
or listen to that song, it gives me that like that
Such a good ad.
감동, man. Like it's
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure,
yeah,
for sure.
it's and the third thing is rugby league. I feel that rugby league embodies the the pinnacle and the shittiest. Like I think it's just so Australian
It's fucking
in
Australian.
its peak
I
and
love
trough.
it,
Like
love
all
it.
these fucking
Tribalism,
yeah,
like fucking
just everything, just
like
the
the
blue
traditional sports
collarness,
ground. Yeah,
the 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 the
booing the
the
refs.
convict kind of like mentality of just being fucking bogus and
Yep,
causing trouble and
yep. Abusing the players. Yeah,
very
yeah,
very
yeah.
conservative and yeah just like a lot
Love
of
it.
things that I love and hate about Australia is embodied in rugby league Oh, my
Yep, like
feels.
shit administration, like
Yeah,
yeah, like poor like management, like all that sort of shit. Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah, 100%. Yeah,
yeah.
no, not look. When I was younger, I honestly, and maybe you can relate to this, other couples can relate to this. I did not appreciate like growing up in Australia, like legit. As I got to my 30s, definitely. Like I started really appreciating it. I've lived in, and also we will, we'll have a whole episode on that. But I've lived in Korea for 4 years in my late 20s, and although I loved Korea, like I fell in love with Korea, particularly Seoul, the city as well. But like yeah, this country, like there's, definitely these days, not a day goes by that I'm glad my parents immigrated to the Canterbury Bankstown area of Sydney in the 90s. The
Sure,
lovely, lovely,
sure.
yeah, the lovely, lovely Canterbury Bankstown inner west area.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Fuck the
100%. Like,
northern beaches and the eastern suburbs, yeah?
yeah, but yeah, yeah. Fuck the East. No, no, no. Like, would love to live there one day, guys. You, no, no. Yeah, Australia. But yeah, look, we're just plugging Australia too much at this point, and I don't know how it
No, no, we can go
got
into
to
all the
it.
shittiness about Australia at other point.
Oh, there's plenty. Yeah, there's
We
plenty.
can, you know what? We should do like a full episode on like Korea versus Australia comparison. Versus Australia comparison.
Okay, well, how's this? Let's end it on this one concept, and then we can, make it fun and call it a day. But like, okay, so currently, right now, Sydney's going through a fucking like massive union shit with the trains, like Sydney
Hmm.
trains and train drivers and shit like that. I don't know if you know much about it, and like the union basically is like fucking holding like the city to ransom by like striking and shit, and then like fucking people can't get to work and shit like that. Like that shit I hate about Australia. Like that will not fucking happen in the Republic of Korea, ladies and gentlemen, because I hate to say it, but they would just get fired.
Fucking
And
just get
it's
martial law on them cunts.
they would just get fired. I'm sorry to say it, but that's just the way it is. Supply and demand. It will be a country with plenty of people who are willing to drive trains for whatever money, etc., etc. So please, like I'm not trying to hate on train drivers out there, but you are affecting us, the everyday man, man. You're not affecting the fucking high class who are driving to work with their fucking private car spaces in their Maseratis and shit. You're affecting the everyday man who owns a Toyota Corolla and the wife has to use it and has to catch a fucking Sydney train to work. So fuck you, okay? And like there was this news snippet, right?
Uh,
And then like it had like the union boss guy, and then like the Carl Stefanovic, like I think was asking him, hey, you can't fucking, you've lost the public fucking, the public opinion, right? You can't fucking hold these guys to ransom and shit. And then he's like, oh, it's not us that are holding the public to ransom, it's the government, blah blah blah. It's a fucking typical Aussie answer, like like
oh, I
oh,
don't know. I don't know about that. I think, yeah, no, we should leave it there for another day.